Hello to all the geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados. Mess 5150 with Malice Corp live, MaliceCast live from Malice Corp. Season 2, Episode 17. May the 4th be with you. It is another Star Wars day, and we are recording on another Star Wars day. I think we recorded last year on Star Wars Day as well. Very surprising it fell on 2 Fridays in a row. This is the podcast for all things nerd, brought to you by malice-corp.com. Joining me on the cast is all of the great geek enthusiasts and nerd aficionados that we have from the website. As I said, myself, Mess5150, is your host. Along with me, we also have Masonic Vader on the cast. Welcome back.
And also with you, sir.
Thank you. Inside joke from earlier. And also joining us on the cast, we have Igor.
I think he's a zombie.
No, he went silent. You're muted still. Somehow.
You're muted.
My soda is just that bad, apparently.
Hello!
Professionals.
Green tea. Yes, professionals. We also have our female persuasion super Whovian freak.
It was very Star Wars at work today. I made everyone participate whether they liked it or not.
There's
a good
no
day.
making people participate in Star Wars Day. It just has to happen.
Do
It
or
did.
do not. There is no
I
try.
made
Yes.
them.
And that is the worst Yoda impression I've ever heard from somebody.
Thank you very much. You are welcome.
That was more
Welcome
Miss
are you.
Piggy than it was.
Sounds like Yoda's great cousin.
Well, apparently I'm not short and green, all right?
That might be a good thing.
It's not-
You're definitely,
It's not
definitely
easy being
short.
green.
No.
Not easy. All right.
Okay. And also joining us on the cast, I see Zorro. Welcome, sir.
Hi there. I love when you refer to Super Whovian as female persuasion, like she could be persuaded out of it.
I know. Yeah,
It's-
you never know in today's society. Maybe next week I'll be the squirrel persuasion.
Ooh,
That's a squirrel.
squirrel girl. Yeah.
There you go.
Marvel already has that copyrighted. I'm sorry.
So welcome to the cast. As we usually do with this cast, we talk all things nerd in terms of what is going on lately in nerd news, both in movies, TV, comic books, you name it. We try and find something to talk about with you guys. We do this live, so please join us on twitch.tv/MaliceCorp every Friday at 8 p.m. to join in on the live conversation. A little bit of echo. Along with that, we always start out our cast talking about what we've been geeking out on. So I want to get into a little bit of that. Mr. Igor, I'm going to go with you first. What have you been geeking out on lately?
Prepping for Free Comic Book Day. I literally went by today to grab the issues that I knew would probably be sold out tomorrow.
So wait, free comic books that get sold out?
So you pre-buy comic books that could be free because you think they're going to be sold out.
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I know you're totally fascinated. Free Comic Book Day is an annual thing, has been across the country for 18 years now, where retailers, I actually thought it was publishers too, but retailers actually pay the dime for a specific stack of free comic books to hand out from various publishers across the board, starting from kids' ages all the way up into adult, and then just weird stuff that's off over here, because you got to have that category too.
Nice.
And they also do, almost every, if not every store does big sales and or huge stock rollouts that day as well. And I knew there were a bunch of things that weren't going to get marked down that might still fly off the shelves just because of huge crowds. So,
Gotcha.
bada bing, bada boom.
Fair enough.
Plus a short story anthology that DC just released for 25 cents.
Not bad. Can't beat that.
Nice.
You will never look at your mail slot the same way again. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, and there's a couple things on Free Comic Book Day. We can actually get this knock it out of the park right now. There's 52 different titles coming out. Not all 52 will be at every comic book shop. So if there's something you're looking for, look it up online. They have at freecomicbookday.com. They have store locators to look up different shops in your local area if you want to go and grab some comic books and stuff. But please, like Igor said, these retailers are still paying for these comic books to get them into their shops. If you're there, pick up something. If you don't know what to pick up that you want to purchase and buy, talk to the guys that are there. They're very knowledgeable people. They can point you in the right direction of a really good story to pick up, to read, and everything like that. In fact, if you're in Idaho, go check out our friends Turbo Comics, and Max at Turbo Comics will absolutely help you find something great to read. Sorry.
Yeah, it's literally what those guys are there for. I do something similar in my job. If people don't know what they like when they come into my shop, it's my job to figure it out and get them to the right thing.
Yeah. And on the chat room, Jack Malice is saying, if you're not geeking out on Blood Bowl Blitz Mania, you are all wrong, which is what he's been geeking out on big time, and he's chanting Blood Bowl in the chat room now. Also, Beacon made sure to let us know that Quest for 100 Episode 6 will be on iTunes in the next few days. Yay! I'm sure there's going to be some fun movie talk in that one. Zora, what you been geeking out on?
Let's see here. 3 main things. Been reading a ton of Deadpool comics, like the old school main chronology, trying to get ready for the Deadpool 2 to come out. And I just finally got into the Cable and Deadpool storyline. I'm only about 2 issues in, so I should have that done before the movie comes out. I picked up Ni no Kuni 2 the other day. I made the mistake of putting it in my PS4 at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I went to bed at 6 o'clock the next morning.
I made this mistake of putting in my PS4 when I bought the Xbox copy.
No, I made the mistake of putting the game in before I finished my homework for the day, and then all of a sudden the day was gone, and then it was the next day. It's good. It's exactly the type of open world, lots of little missions, JRPG kind of thing that I like from, I believe, the same artist from Studio Ghibli. And there's a lot of mechanics to that game. There's a lot of different stuff to learn, but it's really well integrated and it's not too hard to get into.
Nice.
And then the third thing is I watched the new YouTube Red series Cobra Kai.
Oh, you watched?
Yeah.
It was.
I for one need a blurb.
It was entertaining. It was entertaining. It's 10 episodes. You really see things a lot more from Johnny's perspective. I find it hilarious that these people are still playing these same characters 34 years later. But I mean, there's a lot of parallels to the original movie, and if you pay attention, you can figure out pretty much exactly how it's going to go down.
Nice. I want to correct you too. You said that you put in the game before doing your homework. You are on this cast. Your homework is playing video games. So.
I mean, the homework for my degree.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Degrees are overrated. Don't worry.
I know. I'll be getting my 3rd one at the end of the semester. So
Stay in school, kids.
Yeah.
Masonic Vader, what have you been geeking out on?
Well, there are 3 things I'm geeking out on. First of all, I'm geeking out on the fact that we've got that new podcast and a new show that we have on MaliceCorp Smack Talk, which I am the host for. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. And it's been actually really fun. And I hope you guys can check it out because, once again, it's just 3 guys talking about stuff they love, and it's fun. So enjoy watching them and put some feedback in there for us. Second thing I'm geeking about, and I'm just moving on because that's when everyone starts giving me crap about MaliceCorp Smack Talk.
I'm going to bring it back. So don't worry.
Yeah. Was actually the fact that I found this game when searching through PS4. So at the beginning of every month, I always look to see what kind of free games are out there. And I actually found a game that I was interested in. I went and bought it. It was called Surviving Mars. And it's a life simulator, because I'm all into like Sim City and all those games before and building up stuff and everything. And it's based on starting the first colony on Mars. So you launched a rocket, you use your drones, you build up domes, you start doing the system. So I've been playing that on and off for about 3 or 4 days, and it's pretty interesting so far. It's a little hard to get used to because not a lot of instruction going on, but once you get into it, it becomes easier. And then the third thing I'm geeking about is actually a place that's right down the street, which I'll mention out. It's called Paradise. It is a shop across the highway from where I'm at. My kid and I go there at least once a week now, and they've got all things game related, board games, fantasy games, role-playing games. They even have a side room with about 10 tables where you can go in there and World of Warcraft or whatever kind of card games, or actually set up a board and actually do straight on Dungeons and Dragons. So it's a pretty cool shop right across the highway off the 78 in Emerald. It's called Paradise. Check it out. Peace out.
Nice. So like I said, has anybody gotten to check out the MaliceCast Smack Talk besides myself on the cast here?
I haven't yet. No.
You haven't? Well, we you need a teaser of how great this is. Can you give us your close, Mr. Masonic Vader?
It's still a work in progress, man. I'm trying to figure it out.
I know, but you do it so well.
I think you've got
Thank you for watching Smack Talk.
See, isn't that fantastic? Doesn't that make you want to come watch the cast? It is a great cast, though, by the way.
You know, I have more appreciation for your seat. I'll put it to you that way.
Well, I told you I was going to bring it back around to giving you a little pain. Lastly, Super, what have you been geeking out on?
I've watched a lot this week. I'm not gonna lie, but the first one I'll talk about, since if you all are watching season 2 of Timeless, you guys are missing out. It's even better than the first season. I'm really enjoying this season. I don't know if Beacon's caught up because he's in the chat room, but if he hasn't caught up, shame on him. He should turn in his nerd card right now. It's on the bubble again. It needs viewership. It needs live watching. So if you're not watching it, I know it's on a really crappy time slot. It's on Sunday nights at 10 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but watch it. This season has been killing. And then I finally caught up on The Flash, and it's The Flash, and I like what they're doing with Harry. No spoilers if people aren't caught up, but they did an interesting thing with HR, so it'll be interesting to see how they take that. And I'm looking forward to the finale. I'm very curious to see how they're going to end it.
How many episodes are left?
Right. I think they're coming up 1, maybe 2.
I think the season finale is next
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Did Harry just disappear in a thing of dust?
No, but
Jack says he's behind 1 episode, so shh.
yeah. And
On that.
he's seen the
And
twist
Beacon,
of
Beacon says he's been busy with Westworld, and
and Westworld is really good too. Caught up on that also. Very, very good start to season 2.
into Badlands are the 2 things that Beacon's been binging on. So 2 great shows.
I've heard a lot of people bitching that Westworld season 2 isn't as good as they hoped it would be. I think it feels like an exact continuation. I think it's great.
I think that it picks up exactly where it left off, and it continues the thread. What don't they like about it? It literally feels like no time passed. So what's the complaint?
Not enough naked robots?
Haven't gotten to Samurai World yet?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I've got one more Marvel movie to watch before I go back and watch Infinity War a second time. So, and then I'll start on Westworld. So, yeah. My geeking out has been going to concerts. So I went to a epic ska punk concert this last weekend, Back to the Beach out in Huntington Beach, where Goldfinger made the quintessential supergroup for ska and punk, pulling members from MXPX and No Doubt and Travis Barker on drums, and lead singer Real Big Fish coming out to sing sell out with them, and it was epic. It was insane, and that's my geeking out.
Was it Net Funicello there?
What's that?
Was the Net Funicello there? Back to the Beach, right?
No, not that Back to the Beach.
Wrong one. All right, sorry.
My bad. Was it mostly a bunch of people in their late 30s to say mid 50s, not rocking nearly as hard as they used to? I'm talking about the audience, not so much the band.
The audience, there was a lot of that in the audience. Yes,
a lot of people that used to be throwing elbows and stuff, and now we're just kind of standing there like, yeah, all right.
Skanking and moshing in the sand. I don't care how young you are; it's still not easy.
Now, the question I have for you: did they have a regular mosh pit and then right next to it one marked off in blue?
Middle-aged mosh.
No, the funny thing was they kept trying to get the 21 plus mosh pit because the VIP where people had the money to spend some more money to get away from all the non-spenders and easier access to food and drink. They kept goading them on to get a bigger mosh pit, and both mosh pits were meh either way, because once again, skanking in the sand and moshing in the sand is not.
Dude, I'm 40. I got to go to work.
They must have had a shortage on walkers or wheelchairs or something, you know.
Oh damn.
They didn't have enough little tennis balls to go on the bottom.
Well, we were there for our editor-in-chief, Nudie Rudy's birthday, where he was turning 40. So,
Oh, the
That was
opaque statue? The opaque statue.
yes, when the shirt came off, yeah.
Ooh, man, that was
So-
brutal.
But let's move on to what we're actually here for, the nerd news. Big thing for today. It's May the 4th. It's Star Wars Day. So yay, May the 4th be with you.
And also with you.
Then so a big thing that they announced for Star Wars Day, and this is where I'm going to get all you guys to be have fun with this, and in the chat room you can make fun of us as much as you want, but for Star Wars they always do a thing called Force for Change, and it's helps out charity type of thing, but they put together a thing called Roar for Change of people doing their best Chewbacca roars and then posting those, and they will help out with donations on that. So I thought, we have all these great nerds and geeks here on the cast, so we should all give, our best Chewbacca roars, get it on video, and send it out for the masses to see. I mean, how bad can it be, right?
Well, we'll see, won't we?
I really hope that wasn't your best.
Nope.
I'm the host. I guess I'll go first, which will be bad because I'm the first one to go, which means I won't live up to everybody else. We
Yes.
don't have Beacon Baka on here, who we
You're
know
also
is
the
our best.
furriest.
Yeah,
You are
I
the
am
furriest
the
one.
furriest now. Yeah, right now. I don't have the great beard on here either.
Where's Big Papa tonight?
He'll be back next week, and if you guys want to see an immense beard, once again, check out Smack Talk, and you will see a beard for the
Ooh.
ages.
Yeah. It's
So,
like all beard.
yeah, truly. But I will give my first Chewbacca roar, and okay.
Okay, so that's Chewbacca gargling in the morning.
Yeah.
Chewbacca brushing his teeth.
Better
and
than what I
mouthwash.
can do.
All right, cool.
I can't even roll my R's. You want me to roar like Chewbacca?
Just say ruffles have ridges, and let's get your. Who wants to go next?
Sure. Why not? Let's see here.
That was actually pretty good.
That was pretty good.
See, we don't need
Honestly-
Beacon all the time.
I'm just gonna go down the line. So
That sounded like one of those Chewy lines where it was kind of the impression of the Chewy version of yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Kind of making fun of Han. Yeah. Oh,
You're
shut up.
120.
You're great.
190. 190.
190 is that what it, okay.
Come
Um,
on, man. How many times have you not watched it already?
I've watched it twice because I don't want to get too much of it reminisced in my brain before actually watching the movie and being like,
You're not a true fan.
thank you. Next on my little screen here is Super Hoovian, so I want to get Super's Chewbacca
Yes,
roar.
please.
I'm trying to tap out to Beacon.
Nope. You gotta go.
You are
Yeah, I
Chewbacca.
can't. I've been trying all night, and you guys don't want to hear it. It literally just.
You know what?
It's-
It's
nothing.
it's
We
for
do.
a good cause. Give us a roar.
It's not even going to be counted as anything. It literally
That's
just sounds like me making a noise.
There you go.
That's
Go.
fine.
I can't even
And
roll my
go.
R.
Ready, go.
1, 2, 3, go. And go.
Totally not peer pressure.
And now. Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure.
Even if it's just a yawn, I don't care.
I think her screen just froze. I think she got so scared the free screen froze on her.
Well, now she's
No,
holding
but I
really
can
still,
make
so
it
we.
look like
Oh, she's back. I hear her. There she
Yeah,
is.
no.
All right, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
I can make it look like the screen froze, but no, I can't sound anything like it, and I'd rather not humiliate myself.
You don't want to just go.
Oh. Wait, wait.
It's
We're
like
all on
super-
this show. I think we're doing a good job humiliating
I
ourselves.
mean, I
already.
sound like a dying skunk.
Yes, I want to hear that.
I don't.
And go.
I tried doing it at work today too to be funny, and it just didn't work out.
You could
See, now you made it interesting.
already.
I
Now
know,
you're
right?
just making everyone do it. Just do it. Get it over with. Be done.
Now we want it to be terrible.
Yes.
No, I don't want to be terrible. I want to be good.
It's for charity. Let's go. There you go. It's all for charity. Go for it.
And I've done some crazy ass crap for charity. I'm not gonna lie.
Post some rap that you did in a Mona Lisa.
I did,
Charity.
and that was thoroughly embarrassing. Dressed up like the Mona Lisa doing a homemade rap. I also had about 4 whiskeys in me for that one. So
so you didn't get ready.
Imagine there's 5 whiskeys in you right now and start doing some Chewbacca.
There's no peer
Someone
pressure
else
here.
go.
We'll move on. So
let's go. I'll go in a minute.
Oh, because we gotta save the best for last. Igor, can you give us your best?
Oh, someone popped on.
He's gonna give us his Chewbacca. Igor, can you give us your best?
Oh,
he's giving us an echo is what he's giving us.
It's the Batman.
Igor, while we're waiting for the sound from the Batman, go ahead and give us your best Chewbacca roar.
Man, that is like 8 soundtracks layered over each other. One of them being a walrus.
Oh, just go for it.
Trying to draw from someplace, but there is like nowhere to draw from.
There we go. It all goes to that day. There we go. We got both of them back to back. It was like a duet.
Sounded like
I was back up.
That was Sonny and Cher.
Give me your best Masonic Vader.
Oh, this is gonna suck, but whatever. I'm more Darth Vader, but
I think that was more Jar Jar Binks.
I don't know. At least in the holiday special, Chewie's granddad was alive. Could be like Grandpa Woody.
Sounded more like Harry and the Hendersons.
Or Alf. It could have been Alf.
I forgot that was a John Lithgow movie
Really?
until
Well,
last
we
night.
say that none of us have been great.
hey, yeah, Super's.
we can.
I went right from
We
it.
can.
Super had to build up to it. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
we're having fun with this, and it's going to a good cause. But we have Beacon on our joined in on the cast right now, so I know he's gonna give us that great roar to throw up on this
I'll be
video.
honest, guys, that was weak. The reason I jumped in to save the day, like Chewie always does.
Wait, and notice how he's got the 2 Mountain Dews right there too. He's hyped and ready to go. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
I am the great Cornholio.
Now he's built it up so much that it's gonna be a failure.
Where I come from, we have no bungle.
All right.
Yay!
Winner, chicken dinner.
And that's what 2 degrees gets you, I see. Zora.
I'm working on my third.
Well, thank you for
I
joining to give us
agree. I
the
can't do
roar for
that.
change.
Carry on.
Now it looks like you're going to go back to recording episode 7 of Quest for the next 3 days with the Mountain Dews and everything.
Are
you kidding me?
Not even once.
Holy crap, Zorro! Don't get your 3rd degree. That's when Han dies.
Is that when Han dies? Oh.
No, no.
How come?
Okay.
Why is there no like international R2D2 day? I could beat Book with the best of them.
Okay, let's go.
You can
Do it.
you can do electronic beeping better than a roar.
Beep, beep. I can't roar.
For what
I get,
it's worth,
no
Super.
volume. I try to do it and it comes out like. I get no volume. Like, what the hell is that?
That sounded
Like
like
a
a
chihuahua
bathroom
trying to
break
get-
right there.
Didn't it sound like,
Like
a
a chihuahua
dying
trying to
cat?
get started on cold day.
Yeah, right. Like, what the
Like a-
hell?
Sounded like a prop plane.
Like a bad lawnmower.
That's a bad
needed,
Cinco
what
de
you needed
Mayo
was
food.
that earlier she came on camera and a motorcycle went by right as she was talking. So that's what she needed. Was she should have like built up to do this roar, and just as she opens her mouth, this motorcycle goes flying by, and you'd be like,
That
"Holy
would have been
crap."
funny. That would have been really funny.
Okay, well that is our roars. We are going to post those with hashtag roar for change. Because like I said, we make fools of ourselves, but it goes to a good cause. So yeah. That's for May the 4th. Moving on from May the 4th. we're gonna do a little quick tie-in. I want to get your guys kind of ideas because there was a movie that came out last week. Ended up breaking the record for largest opening of
Pee-wee's Big Adventure in Space.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, Infinity War came out last week. We didn't want to talk about it last week because it came out last week, and we felt that no spoilers. Which we'll still try and tiptoe around the spoilers. We won't say exactly who died or anything,
Screwed. So screwed.
but yeah, a lot of people died, and what has happened due to a lot of people dying is now there are memes on Twitter going about of killing off just any pop culture character. Where people are digitizing it, making it look like them floating away. Like there's a Napoleon Dynamite. I don't feel so good. There's a Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Can they do the Kardashians?
I'm sure that's out there somewhere. I've seen a couple. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to tie the Infinity War back into May the 4th and get your guys' ideas of if the Infinity War and the Infinity Gauntlet had happened within the Star Wars universe, who in the Star Wars universe would be characters that disappeared and died?
Greedo.
Fox movies. Ooh.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, give me a character that you would think would have had an impact on changing the whole storyline and how it would change it.
TK421.
Is that the droid?
He wasn't at his post.
Yeah.
That's the one they beat up on the Millennium Falcon. If he wasn't there, they wouldn't have been able to sneak on the Death Star and boom, boom, boom. There you go.
Jack says Jar Jar Binks, but I think that's the go-to answer for everybody is Jar Jar.
Yeah, Binks. I can't use Jar Jar.
So, I mean, say Luke went, how much would that change it?
Well, that would be the entire story. So
yeah, we can't pick Luke.
Well, no, would Leia could it potentially happen where Leia takes over?
That's true. She does float in space and survive.
No, because she wouldn't have gotten rescued. She got kidnapped before Luke was ever involved.
But once again, it goes back to TK421. There you go. See, TK421.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking pure cool factor because this would totally end up in a mirror of of episode 8. But
wait, I have to before I cut you off, but I have to talk about the chat room really quick. Jack Malice brings up Ice Cream Maker Man. That would have destroyed the entire movie, the entire series. If the guy running with the ice cream maker was gone.
True.
Jeez. Go back to your point. Sorry.
I was just going to say, just for pure, that sounds interesting factor, if Palpatine had bid it in the Infinity Gauntlet event, AKA before everything wrapped in the original trilogy. In my mind, I would see that progressing kind of like things are moving forward in episode 8. And how would that have gone with just Vader saying, well, it's up to me now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how long ago does Palpatine buy? Does he buy when he's still the leader of the Senate? Because then it's Darth Sidious still in charge of stuff. Mm-hmm. Or I mean, no, who's Christopher Lee? The Count, what's his nuts?
Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Count Dooku. Yeah, Count Dooku.
Who was being swayed by
Anakin. Anakin is in the chat room. I mean, Beacon says Anakin in the chat room.
Holy crap!
Oh, Beacon!
Hayden Christensen just joined us. Oh wait, we're not good enough to get Hayden Christensen. Who was the kid that played?
Anakin? Are you kidding me? We are good enough to get Hayden Christensen. That man should be begging for anyone to have him on a podcast.
Yeah, we'll get Lloyd.
It's not good enough for here. Jake Lloyd, I think.
Jake Lloyd. Yeah. That's who it is. Yeah. Can we have Anakin romping around in the middle of the Naboo fields go away, and then Time Stone to go back and make him badass? Can we do that?
I want him to disappear as soon as he starts whining in that elevator.
It's so cold. The sand is so rough.
The sand gets everywhere.
Obi-Wan just doesn't trust me or anything. It's so not fair.
It's not fair. How am I on the Senate, but I'm not a Jedi Master? Ah!
I wrecked his car, but it's just a car, man.
My first answer was Greedo, just because I would have liked him to disappear right in the middle of Han shooting first, so that clearly there was no other shot coming the other way.
Right. He'd be like, that damn, that laser was powerful.
Wait. Here's a good one. How about the Sarlacc pit? Right when they throw Boba Fett in, it disappears. He head plants into the sand.
That actually would be really funny. Really funny.
Just Boba Fett feet sticking out a pile of ash. Nice.
Oh man.
What about the one that they based the clone army on? If he disappears right as they go to make the
Jango Fett.
clones.
Jango, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no!
I mean,
You want
Anakin
everybody.
definitely has the largest. If what Beacon brings up, if Anakin disappears, he definitely has the largest impact of.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. The story doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Well,
If he was a
It still
kid,
exists. It's just there's no bringing about Luke or anything. Sidious just has nobody to
Check
oppose
him.
what he ends up doing.
So it's just normal life then. That's what it is.
The Empire takes over, and it is what it is. There's no. The rebellion squashed immediately.
What's
Pretty
the
much,
rebellion?
yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Actually, you want to crush. You want to truly crush the
because
rebellion.
It becomes the Yoda movie.
Yeah.
You
What were you gonna
want to
say?
truly crush the rebellion. It was the regular guys who always had our heroes back in episodes,
Mhm.
6 through 8. They always got to do the cool stuff, but the regular guys were always the ones who were literally watching their backs and fighting off everybody else, so they weren't just being gunned down by an entire Imperial squadron or 17. So no, you want to sow chaos. If Wedge Antilles had been vaporized,
I was going to say Jack. Morgan.
that's all for you.
I was gonna say Porkins. Yeah, Porkins goes.
Porkins.
Over.
What about the stormtrooper that drills his head in the on the elevator?
Oh.
I feel like he'd just die with "It's my lot in life."
But it does leave for any storyline out there. I just wanted to tie it back to Star Wars and stuff, but it does make any kind of storyline interesting where you go, hey, what if this event happened within this universe? How would that change things? And that's why I wanted to kind of bring that back around to Star Wars, because there is everybody is key players in Star Wars, but when you realize as the whole each character plays towards the whole entire galaxy, it everybody has a big part to play, so they would all have some type of effect.
Someone,
The little rat monkey thing on Jabba's shoulder.
No, he still does.
No, he does tear out the C-3PO's eye. Come on, I mean, he was more of an impact than Biggs was. Blasted Biggs, where are you?
Biggs
On the
Darla.
cuddling room floor.
what about you made me lose the name, dang it. Crap, come back to me because I got to think of the name now.
See, that's when you're talking about
Well,
crossovers and interesting what ifs. That's one thing that I'm still a bit peeved at the mouse for with buying Star Wars away from Dark Horse, because we lost Star Wars Tales. Star Wars Tales was the entire setup. It was just, well, what if? To the point that we've seen that I can remember Han and Chewie actually facing an entire haunted city. And I mean legitimately haunted, not like Force ghosts, but I mean like angry, pissed off poltergeists.
Mm-hmm.
Or another one where this archaeologist is going through the jungles, and he and his team are trying to excavate this gigantic metal compartment from trees.
And the big boulder comes down and starts chasing them.
No. It's this metal compartment stuck in the trees that their teams have been able to date as being thousands of years old. And they open it up and they actually find 2 humanoid skeletons inside. And they climb back down using his whip. And it's great because there's no dialogue in it too. It's kind of a nice touch. It's
That's
all just the
interesting.
pictures.
Yeah. Did you think of that character you were thinking of?
Yeah, what about Darth Maul before he kills Qui-Gon? Qui-Gon doesn't die. Qui-Gon raises
better
No,
training.
actually take the same scene but get rid of Obi-Wan. Imagine if Obi-Wan left.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Obi-Wan,
And-
I think, has the
Ooh.
biggest impact.
I believe this is. Oh yeah, go for it.
This guy's killing me with the Mickey Mouse and the Infinity Stone. All right, there you go.
But they are various properties.
The best part is the rest of it is he places the Power Stone, and it's the DC Comics logo.
That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah, could you imagine if Obi-Wan was one of them to go, though?
That does
Who
seem a
takes
big dynamic.
stuff like that?
Well, I mean, we say that so just Obi-Wan disappears. Qui-Gon still gets taken out by
Darth Maul.
Maul.
That
Yeah,
would
but then
suck.
you also but you also have the fact that Obi-Wan was so prevalent in the Clone Wars
Mhm.
that they're one of their top generals. So it just doesn't go all the way to Luke. It goes all the way back to the fact that if Obi-Wan wasn't in there, would the Clone Wars turned out differently?
The Death Star, for that matter, the first
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Death Star.
Yeah. No, that does change pretty, and then once we get our Obi-Wan prequel, we'll see even more so.
God, can't wait. Still waiting.
I said it's coming.
It's a coming.
So
And then no Senator Organa either. If no Senator Organa, no foster family, no leader of the rebellion.
I gotta say this: what if the bigger fish didn't come along? Then their sub is getting eaten.
Mhm.
Now, do you
That's
think
that-
Thanos would be upset that the Death Star beat him to Alderaan?
He might count the planets in the system. He's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, he only wants to kill half of everybody, you know?
Yeah, but that would that's
That's one of my favorite things about the most common complaints about the movie. Because, of course, one of the most common complaints is there's so many characters. Funny thing about the villain's motivations.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Not, I mean, less a whole planet of Alderaan.
Villain is literally on your side in this case, audience member.
yeah, and that's what Superhero was pointing out. What Jack was saying was that there'd be no Senator Organa, no foster family for Leia, no rebellion if Obi-Wan disappears. So because he's one of the 3 leaders of the rebellion.
That's so big. It's hard to imagine how it would have gone differently.
Yeah.
You-
So, I mean,
Mind blown.
it's a kind of cool concept to think. If there's and he said Alderaan should have been safe.
No, we agreed Dantooine was base. No takebacks.
But yeah, if you guys are watching this later and you want to hit us up on our Twitter at MaliceCorp or at MaliceCast, let us know your concepts of who disappears off the Infinity Gauntlet in the Star Wars universe and how that impacts the universe and the storyline. Or if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/MaliceCorp, leave a comment below letting us know. We come back to these chats, we come back to the comments, and we discuss things with you guys. So the chat keeps going, but it's better to be here live because there's a much funner chat going on live with Beacon and Jack Malice and Marley Bot and Super Hoovy and Nut and everything right now. So, yeah, that was just something I wanted to touch on to tie everything that was going on with Infinity War being the biggest opening weekend film, along with Star Wars Day happening. I mean, that was the big tweet that went out, is showing a hand passing the baton, which was the lightsaber, to Iron Man's hand, saying,
Now,
Nice.
Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy saying to it. Absolutely.
yeah. So
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard that actually came from Lucasfilm to Marvel Studios.
Yeah, it was Kathleen Kennedy did it. She said congratulations, did the whole Passover and stuff. I honestly want to say that was pretty classy for them to do that, because Star Wars is the quintessential when it comes to raking in money, and they just got punched out right like that. That was the best way to pass it over.
Kathleen Kennedy is a genius. I mean, look at the list of movies her name has been on. It's basically every movie you've loved from childhood onward. So yeah, she's a smart lady. That was a classy move.
well, talking about Kathleen Kennedy being a genius and genius filmmakers and stuff, let's move on to the next storyline that I was talking. This isn't May 4th related, but it is Marvel related still. We did get the announcement about a month ago or so that they are going to do a Black Widow film. There will be a spin-off movie for Black Widow, and they're talking about that they have it, like the way Variety's talking about it and Hollywood Reporter and stuff, is that they have it down to 5 directors: Denise Gamaz-Erguven, Chloe Zhao, Emma Asante, Maggie Betts, and Angela Robinson. But according to a new report that came from Variety, Justin Kroll tweeted out, "Fun fact, more than 65 directors have met for the Black Widow job." So I want to get your guys' thoughts on that. I mean, they're going through 65 directors, so here's an established character. It's not like Wonder Woman, where there wasn't really an establishment for DCEU yet. It's an established character. We know kind of what her past is. They've made. I'm assuming they're going to do a past storyline. I don't know if it's going to be an offshoot, taking place in the current storyline, but it's. You don't have to get that. I mean, you have to get a perfect director because it's Marvel, but you don't have to get that perfect director to establish this character. So, do you think it's overboard that they're going to 65 different directors so far, or do you think there's somebody that would be perfect for this that should be directing this?
I want to know how big those meetings have been. Are those 65 full-on sit down? Let's have a lunch and talk about it, whether or not you want to be involved in this meeting, or was it like, hey man, you hear we're doing Black Widow? Yeah, cool. All right, later. That count?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
So they've probably been talking about this movie for a while, ever since she was introduced in Iron Man 2 and everything. But I think what really put the fly in the ointment for the movie was Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman was just a phenomenal movie. Everyone knows who Wonder Woman is. They were able to produce with the backstory and into the DC universe, and it came out really well. So Black Widow, in a sense, right now is, I don't want to say the equivalent to Wonder Woman, but she is the most dominant female presence in the movie franchises right now. Thus far. I mean, we know that Captain Marvel is going to be coming out soon, or Miss Marvel, what do you want to call her? But as a whole, Black Widow is the forefront of the ladies from the Marvel area, and they don't want to come up with a crap movie. I mean, I think that's what it is when it comes down to it. They need to find someone who could not only tell the story of Black Widow, because between her and Wonder Woman, most people know more about Wonder Woman, obviously, than Black Widow. So they want to tell the story really well, but probably also tie it back into the franchise as well.
What I heard was that they locked in a writer and sort of the bones of a script in like 2016. So I don't know that necessarily Wonder Woman being so successful would slow Black Widow down. I think it's just they really want, because it was so successful, they want to have it as good as friggin' possible, and they're just, they're going to all the effort to make sure that they get that.
Well, I guess that's what I meant. The way to play. Yeah.
I think from that context that you guys point out there, that is probably the most likely outcome, and I really, really hope you're right too, because the only other logical conclusion with the rest of the evidence would be that it's going so badly with all these meetings that it's equating to speed dating.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think they just got a lot of offers. It's probably like it almost feels like the varsity basketball tryouts at a really good school. You get 85 people that show up, and then you have to whittle your way down from there to the
11.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there a director that you guys think would be perfect for this?
Not off the top of my head, no.
I would say the Russo brothers could do it. Sorry.
I think the growing consensus online is anyone but Zack Snyder.
I think we talked about it briefly in the pre-show mess. I said, hey, Aronofsky seems to have had a lot of luck with Jennifer Lawrence. Maybe he could have success with Scarlett Johansson.
Is this true?
That'd be a totally different Marvel movie, though.
But
it could work. It could be all about her neuroses and her difficult upbringing in assassin school. That could be.
They've already played a little bit of that with Avengers 2, showing her what she went through. I mean, that's what I mean about this whole, like, we already have an established storyline, so you just have to have somebody that can show the right vision for it.
Would be, I think, with just because one of the things I do appreciate about her character, especially when they first introduced her, was how badass she is. Like, you don't get you didn't have female characters at that time that was just going around just manhandling people left and right, right? An interesting one, I think, would probably go in there, because when I saw this action happen, it kind of reminded me of it. Wachowski sisters or brothers or wherever they call themselves. I mean, they were able to pull off the Matrix and bring out all the fighting and stuff like that. Why wouldn't they be able to pull something off with Black Widow? They don't have to go 3 movies deep. They just have to put it all in one. And with their ability to, like I said, have those action scenes that are very similar to how she fights, why couldn't they do it?
Yeah, I want to bring in a name that, if you want to talk about on if you go the psychosis route that Zorro was bringing out, John Krasinski, he's proven how great of a director he can be for something, with the Quiet film.
The Quiet Place.
Quiet Place, yeah. So sorry,
but that was also something that he wrote for himself to star in.
He co-wrote.
Right.
And it wasn't
Well,
for him, just because remember there was somebody else that he was looking at for it. Yeah, his wife came along to star in it and everything, but she wasn't originally. He was trying other actresses, and somebody else.
Saying, like, it was clearly that was a passion project for him over a long time. Coming into somebody else's thing. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't work. That'd be awesome if it worked.
I think he just showed that his direction skills are.
Yeah.
He knows his way behind the camera, and I think it would be awesome to see him put together like a spy espionage type of film, which I'm assuming is the route that they're going to go with Black Widow.
Well, they should.
I do wish, though, that the Russo brothers weren't going to be counted on for so many other projects, because I think they would be perfect for this. Because, I mean, look at the Captain Americas alone. Basically, what they've built up as awesome with Black Widow in the movies so far is, all right, let's James Bond harder than James Bond does. And they did it well. They did it really well. The Russos are going to be too damn busy.
Yeah, they've already got Infinity War. I mean,
After Infinity War, their books are filled.
They're already next Infinity War. They're already they're
well.
out.
Also, the list of the 5 that you said were currently being considered, but was that all women?
It was all women.
Nice. Okay.
So, which I'm all for as well. We need more female directors taking on big projects anyway. So
yeah,
so that's what I'm gonna say about that. But that's the thing that Disney's doing right now too, is it is looking for that next big female director. That's what they were trying to do with, forbid how terrible the movie was, but
who was it that directed that movie Sucker Punch?
Oh God, that movie. Oh.
No. I'm not saying it was a great movie.
Wasn't that Snyder?
Though, it was stunning.
That was Snyder. That was Snyder.
Because that's his visual style. 300, Sucker Punch, Watchmen. It's all that same visual style.
Okay, well, all right. Visually, it was stunning, but it was crap storytelling.
That's all Snyder knows how to do, is make something look visually pretty.
Oh, can they just have him make the visuals then and have someone else?
He's a great cinematographer. He's not a great director.
Yeah, can he just be the cinematographer then?
No, he won't do it. He won't just be a cinematographer for something. So, but yeah, if you guys have an idea of who you think should direct Black Widow, once again, drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your ideas and your thoughts on that. I'm going to close shop with this last story. So, like we said, it's con season right now. And what actually ended up happening was there was Cinemacon out in Vegas, which I didn't even know about this, but it's a big, huge convention for theaters where it's a 2-story convention. And the bottom story is talking about latest technologies in terms of cameras and the movies coming and all this stuff. The second story is all about concessions. So it's literally a whole floor about different type of popcorns and hot dogs. And like they have a Fritos chili cheese dog coming. Like it's just different foods to make us pay too much for.
Do they hand you a bottle of Pepto-Bismol as soon as you walk in?
But the reason I brought this up,
it's inserted in the chair, so it goes right up your.
The reason I brought this up is because some of the cool things that they actually brought from the studios to this convention. First and foremost, Quentin Tarantino and Leonardo DiCaprio took the stage at it to talk about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the film that takes place during the Manson murders, and explained a little bit more of it, that it's these guys that live next to Sharon Tate, and that's what the story revolves around. But DiCaprio said, reading the script, and he's been in a couple Tarantino films now, and he said this is the best Tarantino screenplay he's ever read. Wow.
Well, that could be interesting.
So
did he say it with a mouthful of hot dog and popcorn?
I don't know. But
and a bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
Go ahead.
No, go. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was going to ask. I've been hearing a lot of buzz about that new David Tennant movie that's coming out.
They said it's so wacky that it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bad Samaritan.
yeah.
Bad Samaritan. Thank you. I couldn't think of the title, but I'm kind of intrigued. I'd like to see him on the big screen.
You should probably check out Quest for 100. I'm sure they'll watch it and they'll be talking about it.
Yeah.
One of our podcasts that you can check out on iTunes. So
I'm willing to watch anything Tenet's in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Once. What was that? What was it? Fright Night or something? That was
the
terrible.
remake of no, it wasn't.
There was one where he was a vampire.
He was great in it, but that was it. It was,
great. The movie
no,
was awesome.
well, he was good, and it was probably one of my favorite roles of Colin Farrell as the vampire. I actually liked the mannerisms that he was using with the smelling the air and stuff like that. Yeah. So the rest of it I can give it leave or take. But not only did he say this is the best screenplay that he's read from Quentin Tarantino, that it is his best screenplay. Tarantino said the best on-air couple of duo together is going to be Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, which this is an interesting thing because they are together in this film. They haven't filmed one scene yet, and Tarantino's already saying that they're the best on-screen duo ever.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a little bit.
I think I know it was on his breath at the time, but okay.
promo.
I could go so many different places with that.
Right?
So
they hadn't started filming yet.
Yeah, is this just Tarantino's machismo talking about how it's gonna be the best?
Yeah, yes, but also he has a way of making that stuff happen when he says it.
Also true.
Not always. I have
Not
to admit
always,
that,
but a lot.
yeah,
Pretty consistent. Not completely, but fairly.
Yeah. The other major thing that happened here, they did show the first footage of Lion King, and it was the whole circle of life scene, and they said it's living up to the hype. The animals look super realistic, and there is scene for scene replication, I guess, representation. It for some of it, like the ants carrying the stuff
Leaves
up,
and twigs and such.
So, but they said it looks amazing, and the crowd actually roared after.
Like a lion?
Yes, exactly.
They're
But
going to be the main event.
or Chewbacca.
exactly, they did a roar for change in the audience. No, the big one I wanted to bring up that they did was they brought Jamie Lee Curtis out on stage to talk about the Halloween sequel.
Oh my God! Really? Come on!
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, no, it's a reboot. It's
No,
specifically
it's
a reboot.
It's another reboot.
It is a direct sequel to the first one. Everything else
thank
that
God.
happened is
thank
gone.
Is it going to be as terribly boring as the first one?
The first one, I can understand the boring aspect of it being considered boring, but it created a genre. It was the first slasher flick.
I can respect that. I didn't see it till like 3-4 years ago, and I had this built up in my head as one of the original greatest genre creating horror movies, and it was just
that would be a disappointment then.
oh no, there's a guy standing near that hedge over there.
It was
watch.
Had to see
Wait,
that one.
there's a sound in the other room. Let's run away. No, let's go toward it.
It was
Watch number 3. That's all I'm going to say.
No,
Watch number 3.
How? Come on, seriously. It's gotten to a point where there's 10 Nightmare or Friday the 13th. There's 7 Nightmare on Elm Streets. What's there going to be 12 freaking Halloween? Just freaking find something new
Well,
for
but like-
God's sake.
like Igor brought up here. He said, "Oh, thank God." They're throwing out all the mistakes they made with Halloween. They said that it throws out the storyline that Laurie Strode, Curtis, and Michael are related, so that's gone. There's no more. He's my little brother. He's my brother.
Then how is it a direct sequel?
Because it's taking place directly after the first movie. It wasn't shown that he was in the first movie. They weren't shown to be related. It wasn't until later.
Yeah.
So are they going to use the same? Are they going to use the same kind of technology they used on Kurt Russell and Guardians of the Galaxy and try to make Jamie Lee Curtis young again or something?
No,
Here's the Tupac
that's why
technology.
that's why I wanted to bring this up, because that's why I'm wondering what you guys think. Do you think that they're going to do something like that, or do you think it's going to be like all of a sudden Michael shows up 40 years later?
I hope to God not. And recasting is not an option if you're going to reboot.
Well, it says Lori. It says there's a scene that Lori tells an officer she's been praying Michael would escape and return to Haddonfield, Illinois. When asked why, she replies, "So I could kill him." That's a scene that you see, and you see Michael putting on the mask after 40 years. So I don't
That does
know.
say there's time lapse. Okay.
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering if there's going to be a time lapse type of thing. If it's going to be half.
Are they going to give him a cane? Are they going to give him a walker?
But it's Michael again, so I don't know if they are going to make it more.
They trying to turn her into
supernatural
Sydney
thing.
from Scream. Gonna make her the badass now.
Because you brought up 3, Igor, which is the whole supernatural.
3 is one of the most special sequels to my heart ever.
Special.
And-
yeah.
and
Short
let's
yellow
just-
bus special.
Hey, they have the best juice boxes, man. And this movie was no exception.
Oh,
It's so great. They tried to take it in a completely different direction.
Mhm.
Fans did not take to it, but I recommend it.
no.
This one I could see being fun if they just go kind of sort of like the folks did with Friday the 13th 10. Because I mean, not necessarily like that, because their whole point there was just screw it. Like the director and the screenwriter at the time said, we finally realized nobody's taking these seriously anymore, so why should we?
Michael
maybe,
Myers
you know-
comes out. Michael Myers comes chasing you down in his little rascal. You know.
I thought you were about to say he comes out of the closet. That's a whole different movie.
I am really kind
Nightmare on
of
Elm Street.
interested on what take they're going to take with it, because getting rid of that whole it's a sequel that's a reboot, but it's not a reboot because it's taking place after the very first movie, and I am actually kind of intrigued, because that's not what most of them do. They usually try and reboot or just try and
Keep going,
retell
keep
how
going.
they're doing this, and still take the history of the bad movies in the whole thing, and I'm kind of glad
So-
they're throwing them out.
That could be interesting if they completely.
Because I hated the
Well,
Rob Zombie
crap.
remakes. I absolutely hated the Rob Zombie remakes.
Oh, dude, don't.
A sequel that's
I
not
could
a
say-
sequel, but also kind of a reboot thing.
Yeah.
Hey, it worked for Jumanji.
I can say one
True.
good thing about the Rob Zombie movies. Rob and his guys actually set the, and there's a strange man behind the hedge, to 11.
Yeah.
You will never notice how many places he's actually just standing in a scene until you watch the movie like 3 times. I couldn't bring myself to watch it, so I've watched online reviews that many times.
I can see it now. Jamie Lee Curtis is running down a hallway, she falls and slips, and she hits the button and says, "I've fallen and I can't get up."
That would make a funny gag reel.
But she would grab
at
her yogurt first.
That I was going to say at the beginning of the run, she's holding an Activia.
I don't know.
And
I
she was
think
running
Myers
towards
would,
the bathroom.
She can't
And I
go
feel
high.
bad. I still love Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, I don't think she's a bad actress or anything, but
I mean, she can't go hide in the shower because doesn't she have one of those half old person bath shower tubs? So it's not like you
Jack
can hide
says
there.
that Halloween was a great movie, and that we're all just addicted to an overuse of gore and graphics.
I'm not even that
I
big a
hate
horror
overused
fan, really.
gore. Okay.
See, that's what I'm hoping for with
What happened?
And he's
Did
gone.
we lose him? He just left us. That's what I'm hoping for, and then Michael grabbed him.
And that was Michael Myers right there. There you
Michael
go.
Myers got
Nope.
Igor.
He didn't. Michael didn't get him. Thanos got him.
No, he thought
Oh no!
he thought that Jack said we were depending too much on Igor. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. We were saying that Michael Myers just grabbed you and you were gone.
Or that you turned into powder, but apparently you did not. So we're good.
What were you saying?
Now I want to cross Infinity War with powder.
Why are we
that's-
talking about that, man? Why aren't we not talking? I thought the 48 hours was done.
That's what happened to Powder in the movie Powder. He just turned into dust. So
So that was Infinity War.
Retcon.
All
it was
right.
Infinity War. What were you saying, Igor? You're muted still.
I hope they're just going back to just unashamed over the top slasher flick.
Yeah, I would love that.
I hope that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. So we'll find out.
Michael
what
has a cane.
happens.
That's fine. Kills 2 people with it at once.
We'll find out what happens. But as Igor brought up, Halloween 3, some of the old Halloween films, anything that you guys want to check out, make sure malice-corp.com, our parent site. Head on over there. There's Amazon links on there. If you click on those and go purchase your movies or whatever through Amazon Prime, it helps us out. You guys get the stuff that you're looking for. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yeah, and that's the gist of that. But that's an hour. So thank you guys so much for coming and joining us on the cast. Let's talk about where we can follow everybody. Super, where can we follow you?
Oh, you can come join me on Twitter at Super Hoovy and Nut. I forgot my Twitter handle for a second there. Yeah, I'm active there. I talk to anyone, everyone. We'll talk about whatever. I mean, we can keep a conversation going about the most useless things, and it's fun and it's funny. So come join the party.
Awesome. How about you, Zorro?
At Icy Zorro on both Twitter and Instagram. A lot of wine stuff. It's just gorgeous around here. So I've been trying to put up a lot more pictures lately.
Nice. And Igor.
I, of course, still run the Destiny portion of Malice Corp on Destiny 2 forums and in-game. Remember, major expansion coming next week. Kind of excited. New enemy types and more scavenger hunts. Our comic book podcast I'm not only part of, but we have our own group Twitter, All for Comics. Or whether it be PSN or twitch.tv Harris_Doubleton. Drop me a friend request, say hi, join me in the Crucible, whatever.
And definitely go check out Comics for All. They're All for Comics on Twitter, but check them out on iTunes, on Stitcher, anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. They're a great cast under the Malice Corp umbrella, talking about comic books. It's getting those conversations that you get when you walk into a comic book shop. And Max from Turbo Comics is over there. Big Papa Matt's over there. Our Marley Bob's over there. So there's some really great personalities over on that cast. Where can we follow you, Masonic Vader?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Masonic Vader. You can follow me on PlayStation Network at Masonic Vader 71. Also, once again, shameless plug, Malice Corp Smack Talk. You go to Malice Smack Talk on Twitter and also Instagram. You could also check out our first actual video. That was our season 2. Our episode 2. Excuse me. That's now on iTunes and on YouTube as well. So please check it out, follow it. Regardless if you like wrestling or not, you're definitely gonna find out the conversation is definitely fun, and we're just having a lot of fun. So please check it out, follow us, and tell your friends who like wrestling.
Nice.
Ding.
Yeah, definitely check out the cast. Check out all of our casts. Quest for 100 with Beacon and Big Papa Matt, where they try to watch 100 films in a calendar year in the movie theaters. Check out Nerd Mosh Pit. Another whole group of nerds and geeks that are talking about all things nerd. And come back here every single Friday, 8 p.m. on Twitch to join us live to talk all things nerd on MaliceCast. And back this Monday will be a MaliceCast TV Talks, The Walking Dead at 9 p.m. We'll be talking about Fear the Walking Dead because now everybody on the cast is caught up, and we'll get back to doing our rundowns and talking about the episodes. We've been hankering to do it. So you can follow me on Twitter at Mest_MaliceCorp. You can also follow me on Instagram at Mest5150. You can follow the entire cast at MaliceCorp on Twitter, or at MaliceCast on Twitter, and you can follow MaliceCorp on Instagram at Malice_Corp. We appreciate you guys coming out. Look forward to seeing you next week, and you guys keep nerding on.
Peace.
Rock on.
Carry on.